For the first time in nearly 5 years, the U.S. government has shut down after the Senate failed to reach a consensus on a new budget. A bill required to keep the government afloat until February the 16th fell 10 votes short of the 60 needed. A heated bipartisan debate, primarily over immigration and border security, failed to convince the Senate Democrats to keep the government open for at least another month. As a result, hundreds of thousands of federal employees whose jobs are viewed as non-essential will be put on temporary unpaid leave. That will affect most of the staff in the departments of Housing, Environment, Education, and Commerce, and half of workers in the departments of Treasury, Health, Defense, and Transportation. What's more, national parks and monuments could face closure, while visa and passport processing could experience delays.
Well, the difference is, in the past 25 years, there have been several shutdowns, but they were all when the Congress and the presidency were split between Democrats and Republicans. This is the first one where one party has held all three of the major power centers, the presidency, the upper house, and the lower house of Congress.
The U.S. government shutdown triggered a blame game between the leading Republican and Democratic senators.
What we've just witnessed on the floor was a cynical decision by Senate Democrats to shove aside millions of Americans for the sake of irresponsible political games. The government shutdown was 100% avoidable.
The majority leader only just allowed us to vote on a continuing resolution that he knew lacked the votes long before this hour. And the blame should crash entirely on President Trump's shoulders. This will be called the Trump shutdown.
The White House, in a scathing statement, blamed Democrats for the shutdown, accusing them of holding lawful citizens, quote, hostage over what the Trump administration called the party's reckless demands. Similar criticism was leveled by President Trump, who accused Democrats of putting politics above the interests of the American people. The U.S. Democratic lawmakers are particularly opposed to President Donald Trump's controversial decision last September to end a program established by his predecessor Barack Obama. Under the program known as DACA, more than 700,000 undocumented immigrants who entered the U.S. as children were granted temporary legal status.
We have congressional elections coming up in November of this year, where the entire House of Representatives goes up for election. And the Republicans have finally come around to understanding that if they don't deal with DACA and allow these children of illegals who came into the country, offer them some path to citizenship. Otherwise, we do have the spectacle of trying to deport hundreds of thousands of people back to countries where they were not born in, they know nothing about. It would be a disaster politically. And so Republicans are well aware that they have to deal with this.
While Democrats want protection for those children, Trump and his fellow Republicans have been using the issue as a bargaining chip to gain concessions from the rival camp.
However, the Democrats are trying to make this whole government shutdown issue on this DACA issue when it's not really. The real issue, in fact, they are just trying to create a diversion to camouflage this rapidly unfolding FISA scandal. The FISA court is a secretive intelligence court that determines when and where the intelligence community can spy on people both inside and outside of the country.
The U.S. government also had a 16-day shutdown under Obama's second term in office. However, the shutdown under Trump's presidency comes as Congress is dominated by Republicans. That's just another blow to a president who has just wrapped up a year in office with the lowest average approval rating of any elected president in his first term.